This is another thing. How can you leave loot boxes just pooling up like that?
Because I'm not a collector like you.
You are a collector because you've got 238 loot boxes.
Yeah, but see, it's Schrodinger's cat. I have all the legendaries, but none of them at the same time.
Because I just don't want to open them.
Yeah, as far as I know, I have everything in the game.
And we're back for another episode of Gamified. I'm Harley.
I'm Zuff.
And today we're covering FPS games because last episode was single player.
Storyline based games.
That's right.
And this is one that I've been looking forward to.
Yes, this is your niche.
This is, definitely more my thing that I've been playing for like most of my gaming career.
I'm just watching him get so excited over here.
Yeah, look, this is something that I relate to a lot.
This is like, you could go on and on about FPS games.
Let's start this with like old school FPSs. All right, you've played a few FPSs, like you play some, we've played some together.
Yeah.
Right. But what's your first FPS game that you would have played?
Oh. Is WoW FPS?
No.
No, that's more, what's that?
Like first person shooter games.
Oh. Sorry. Well, it would be Borderlands because Borderlands is technically a first-person shooter.
Don't tell me those things. It's not. I mean, like, okay, let's bring this down to another.
Explain to me what your idea of FPS is.
My like say for at least the purposes of this episode. My definition of FPS is like first-person shooter games where you're playing against other real-life players in like a competitive nature.
Okay, Call of Duty then.
Call of Duty is your first.
Okay, so
Which
that's
Call
what
of
you're...
Duty? Yeah.
I think it started with Modern Warfare 3.
Oh, you missed out on Modern Warfare 2?
Yeah, I did.
It's like
I watched my
brother.
Okay, so my brother was heaps into like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
To the point where the lazy boy chair was about this far away from the TV.
Oh, that's not healthy, but yeah.
No, and he was 13 at the time, but he used to shred on that. Like I think he got like top 10 in Australia for sniping or something. He was like
sniping, like
obsessed, and I think that was more Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah.
But he was full into Modern Warfare 2. Like
MW2 is like one of the best Call of Duty games ever. Like
I think what happened was I started getting into like more of that type of game.
Yeah.
Totally shit at it, by the way. But like,
I
watched my brother and I was like, I'm just going to
just brush over that one.
Yeah. I'm not even going to. Oh, man. I'm so angry right now.
Yeah. You're the worst Apex player I've ever met.
Fuck off. Which is what our banter sounds like most of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I watched him play and then I tried to play and I was so shit at it. But I after a while got really good at it.
I actually had like, not recently, it was probably about a year or two ago. I had a really interesting experience. I hadn't played MW2 for a long time. And I was playing lots of Black Ops 3.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Black Ops 3 is super, super twitchy. Very, like, it's super fast paced. Like, you run on walls, you slide as soon as you land. Everything is, like, really fast and hard tracking and whatnot. And then I went back to, like, MW2. And because it's so slow in terms of pace, like, I feel like I was playing that way better than I used to play it. Like, competitive. And there's still so many people on the servers of that game.
Oh, yeah. It's
and even, like games like Halo Reach.
I think Modern Warfare 2 is what changed Call of Duty.
Yeah, it was one of those.
It was a pinnacle moment in Call of Duty life.
I don't know how correct I am in saying this, but that might have been when FaZe became famous for their like sniping montages. Yes. With like a 360 no scope kind of. I think it was.
Wasn't the guy who is Dr. Disrespect one of the guys that programmed one of the games?
Yeah, he was a level designer. He designed a lot of the levels of.
Was it Modern Warfare 3?
Might be MW3. I think it was also Advanced Warfare.
Okay.
And there was another one. I can't remember. I think it was 3 of the editions.
Yeah. Okay.
But
And Dr. Disrespect, if no one knows, is a
streamer,
Twitch streamer.
No, but if you listen to this podcast, you must almost definitely know who he is.
Well, just in case we've got some new people up in here.
Oh, yeah, I doubt it. Anyways, so yeah, it was really interesting, like going back to MW2 and like just being significantly better at the game, just from playing a faster, twitchier version of that game.
Mm-hmm.
And like games that still have like old school games that still have lots of people on the servers, like those are the games that kind of like were pinnacle games.
Yeah,
like they changed. Halo Reach for me was my favorite.
Halo Reach, I think, was everybody's Xbox
game to go
game.
to. Well, that's the thing. Like that's the game that I played. Like the
See, I'm
campaign through the
PlayStation
most.
and you're Xbox, so
I don't know. No.
Mm.
Now, but I started off on PlayStation. So I had a PlayStation.
Really?
1.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
This is my history of consoles.
Okay.
I had a PlayStation 1, a PlayStation 2, a 2 Slim. I had a Dreamcast. I had a Sega Master, a Game Boy Color.
I'm a fucking
Game Boy
fake.
Advance, which I still have. And then the game that made me go over to Xbox because it was Xbox exclusive was Halo. So I used to play Halo 2, Halo 3, ODST, around the same amount, and then Halo Reach. Did not like Halo 4. And here's the reason why. I'm a little bit OCD when it comes to some games.
Did you get on the Halo 5?
No.
Bandwagon?
Because it's once they branched off, like the company who was making the first 3 or 4 Halos, which was Bungie, I think.
Yeah.
It switched over to 343. Or was the other way around? I can't quite remember. But because they had the licensing for the sounds and the colors, they had to change it in 4. And to me,
so it wasn't like you were playing Halo.
It didn't feel the same. I was playing so much Reach and everything else. And when I played 4, I was like, well, it's off. It feels off. Like the color of the plasma was off. And I'm colorblind. So that's like a lot of a difference. And the sound
I'm really
colorblind. And the I'm still a better FPS shooter than you as well.
Please fuck off.
Yo, I have a degenerative eye condition. I have better aim than you. All right, so just
oh jeez, your hits keep coming tonight.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm a real trashy mood,
dude.
Today.
I'm seriously so hot under the collar right now. I could fight you.
You wish. Fight me in Overwatch.
Every time. Still hurts. Okay. It's like a dagger in my neck.
Let's kind of get back on track. My first experience of an FPS would probably be Time Crisis. I kind of count that as an FPS game, first person shooter. Actually, no, I don't, because it's not competing against other people. Mm-hmm. But that's my first thing where it's like aim based. That's actually a storyline game as well, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm. We did touch slightly on Time Crisis already. But yeah.
Then it would have to be Halo. This is the first one that I really played.
Okay. Yeah, see, mine was Call of Duty, but then the Uncharted game, so going back to the last episode.
Your storyline games.
Uncharted 2 came out and they had the multiplayer.
Yeah.
And that was like huge. That became a whole thing. So I got into that, and that became my introduction to, again, after like Call of Duty, into other multiplayer PVP first person shooter. But in that sense, it was actually
I was your gateway drug.
Third person.
Yeah.
Not first person.
Okay.
But
Actually, I have something to talk to you about that.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching this skit the other day on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it was about PUBG, right? Which is the game in which we started playing together, right?
Yeah.
And because you can have first person mode and third person mode in PUBG.
Yeah.
This skit was about how ridiculous third person mode is because you can see around walls. The funniest part of that was they were walking up. It was like an embankment. There was a wall there.
I've seen this.
Yeah. Guy's like right up against this wall going, they have a R99.
Are they? Yeah. They're like a New Zealand skit group. Yeah. I love those
good
guys.
But what is your opinion on like FPS shooters that in third person? Like,
so I think the only way.
Well, third person shooter.
First person is really good for things like Call of Duty, where they're runner gunner type things.
Yeah.
Where you just run, gun until you die and then you respawn basically.
Yeah.
It sort of was the same for Uncharted. But because Uncharted as a storyline game was third person, it was actually easier for players to play it third person in multiplayer rather than because they've gone from the story and
you can see more.
But in terms of Apex is first person.
Yeah.
I prefer playing a game that runs as smooth as Apex in first person than I would play, say, PUBG.
Yeah, PUBG isn't optimized for anyone.
No. See, that's what I have to play in third person because I get too frustrated otherwise.
PUBG is like, even though it's a game that we started playing together on and everything.
PUBG has its place.
Yeah, it has, but it's just too frustrating in how poorly optimized it is for any platform. Like, it's not even just like we're playing on consoles and that's understandable. It doesn't have enough horsepower to run.
But it's just the fact that it's been out for 2 years or so and they still haven't done anything to optimize it. As
much as I don't like playing this game, Fortnite is so much better in terms of optimization for all platforms.
Well, they basically just took Fortnite and used it as a big FU to PUBG. Yeah.
And then there's like Apex, which came out and it's just like so much better than PUBG in terms of optimization.
Yes.
Like,
and also faster pace in the sense that it's got less of the building mechanics and all of that fart-assing around in Fortnite.
And you know, it's funny now.
Also it's, I mean, PUBG, you have to be very strategic in how you play because of the optimization and also in terms of how you loot and everything in that game too. Fortnite, you have to be a good builder.
Well, not anymore. You don't.
Because I haven't touched Fortnite since season 5. So
our favorite streamer, I guess, or one of our favorites, who's Tim the Tatman. I've been watching like
legend.
Some of his stuff, and it's just right now what's happening is they've introduced mechs into.
I know, and it's getting everyone like. Did you see recently that Ninja quit Fortnite and started playing Minecraft with Courage JD the other day?
No.
And then what ended up? I think what ended up happening was, no, because they did something to the building, and they couldn't build. Oh. So they took out a mechanic for building. I think it was quick build or something.
Oh, Instant 90s, I think it was.
Yeah, and then so Ninja was like, this is an unplayable game. Yeah. I'm going, and they started playing. Him and Courage JD started playing Minecraft
because they wanted to build.
They wanted to build stuff.
Yeah.
And then what happened was within about 20 minutes of that happening, I'm pretty sure Epic came out and said that we'll put back in
the 90s, whatever
the quick build mode.
Well,
and then he got back on it. He played with Courage for a couple of hours and went back.
Does he have that much influence over
He's one of the highest paid streamers.
Oh, he is, I think, the highest paid now.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But see, like, if you can do the building and the shooting, that game is perfect for you. That's perfect for you.
It's a very mechanically demanding game.
Yeah. I'm the type of person that likes to loot, run around, shoot, and if I survive to the end, then I'm winning. And I just prefer that type of stuff. I like
PUBG for the fact that you don't have to build. You just use the environment to shield you.
But
it's more about
also
positioning, like using the positioning that's already existing.
It's more strategic.
Yeah. Here's the difference with like Apex is you can get high ground much better. And like that's like,
and I like the character choices and the skills that they have.
Exactly. Yeah. Like
that determine your outcome
Apex
as well.
Apex is almost like a combination between PUBG and Overwatch.
Yeah.
Because you have classes like healers and shields and damage and whatnot.
Yep.
But it's that FPS like. You know.
But I also like that Apex only came out as a team game. That you have to go into a team. I know
they have solos now.
No, they had solos. It was only for as long as that Iron Crown event.
Oh,
so I don't know if solos has come back or if because they had when season 2 dropped, they had the rank gameplay, so everyone was playing the rank gameplay, and then the Iron Crown event came out, which only lasted 2 weeks, and they did the solos as a trial, and everyone loved the solos, which I quite like because it keeps the games fresh. You've got different modes.
Didn't they get rid of like the whole battle pass thing, or is that still a thing?
No, it's still a thing.
Okay.
So your season 2 battle pass, you still like level up your battle pass, but they introduce like events. So at the moment, I think on the 1st of September, they're releasing an event for Wraith, which is one of the characters.
Which is like your favorite character.
My all-time favorite character. Yeah. I just seem to play better as her.
You just don't play better as anyone.
Why are you ripping into me so much tonight? You're just
hungry. Like, damn. Okay, here's a game that I want you to try. And I think it's because you've played Halo and you enjoy Halo.
I have played Halo, but not as consistently as you.
Yeah, definitely
like, I'm not a die-hard fan of Halo, but I have experienced Halo.
There's also a game that you don't like, which is Portal, right? You didn't really enjoy Portal.
No, I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
I just couldn't.
But just for my entertainment.
Oh, God.
What I want you to do is play this game called Splitgate. So Splitgate is basically like old school Halo, real basic graphics. It's pretty set static maps. But they have these points where you can drop a portal onto so you can flank people really easily and like.
But what if I don't want to play that?
You got to do it for the podcast.
But what if I don't want to?
But you have to.
But Zuff.
I'm not going to build your PC for you.
Okay, all right. I'll play the fucking game.
Yeah. So we'll get you to play that game. It's just interesting. Like, it's really basic movement, point and shoot. And
so why? Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
But I have no idea why Overwatch is your game.
Okay.
So why is that an FPS game that you fucking love?
Okay.
It's the only game that you will grind out either as well.
It is.
Like,
here's the thing.
I'm trying to get him to play WoW, which is not an FPS game, which I've just been rudely told.
This is the thing.
And he won't. He probably won't.
I had a very love-hate relationship with it in the beginning. It was like, I play it, get over it, like log off, whatever. And then like an hour later, jump back on. And it was like that all the time. And I only play it when I go over to my mate's house. And then I got it myself. And then I just started getting addicted to it. Because it's the thing about it, it's like there's so much room for you to grow as a player in so many departments in that game.
I do. I totally get that.
And it's also the addictive aspect of like when you're getting better and you're beating real people, other people.
So I have a thing about this. This is what annoys me about Overwatch, because I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
What I hate about Overwatch is, and I think you said recently with a couple of updates when they brought out the new characters, they kind of tried to optimize the queuing system for ranked gameplay.
Yeah, for
competitive, for closer to what rank or where you sit.
Okay, so
competitively.
No, what they actually it is, they've changed it so now when you go into ranked, you get a ranking for damage, a ranking for shields and tanks, whatever you want to call them. And
so why aren't they queuing? So say if I'm a bronze, or like a early bronze,
which you definitely are. Yeah.
Yes. Well, seriously, I'm about to leave this fucking podcast. We're only episode 3, and I've already had enough of you.
You're welcome to leave. It's all right. I'll find a replacement in like that.
Harley, put in my resignation.
Oh, okay, cool.
No, I don't understand why they can't pair. Like Apex, this is what I like about Apex is you go into a queue, which is either like your bronze 4, bronze 3, bronze 2, but at least you're all with bronze.
No, that's how you get ranked as well. So when you're playing against.
So why have I been getting into queues with other higher ranked?
The only issue is like it's so new. This new thing, it kind of did like a soft reset on like some people's stats. So they have been recording in the background kind of your stats and gameplay like scores so that when you do get ranked, you kind of get ranked where you should be.
Because I'm getting over going into a ranked game.
Yeah.
Like I've played quick play games to warm up and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm sick of going into a game where they're all like silvers or whatever. and they're just so toxic.
Well,
that is what I don't like about Overwatch is it's super fucking toxic, and it's actually it doesn't make it fun for people to play.
It is the thing. I don't easily get offended or anything like it.
I don't easily get offended either. I just get pissed off.
Yeah, I know. But see, I'm like ultra chill. So I'm competitive in terms of like.
Are you though?
Yeah,
Are you actually?
Like I'm competitive in the fact that I want to beat people in the game, but I'm not like competitive in the way of like I will like knock you down. But see,
even with competitive, like this is what I mean. I feel like people run around thinking that they're fucking high paid Twitch streamers or whatever.
Oh yeah, because they start telling you tips and stuff.
I play games because they're fun. I don't play games to
grind them out. Remember, you have to get every single
player games, not FPS.
But Overwatch is that type of game where you can just keep on getting like.
I get that, but do you have to be like? Does someone have to write rude words in your message?
Yeah, no,
after a game?
That's unnecessary for sure. But
or things like that.
I think a light roasting, especially for someone of your abilities, is necessary. No, but. Here's the thing.
No, I agree with that. Okay,
I will say,
so this is the thing. There's a difference between a light grilling and there's a difference between being an actual asshole.
I will say though,
while playing a game.
With this new role queue thing, it actually has reduced the toxicity a good amount.
Okay.
Because
I haven't touched it since.
Once you're a healer,
I had a bad
you're
experience.
stuck as a healer. Once you're a damage, you're stuck as a damage. And they can't be like, oh, why are you doing 4 damage when we don't need 4 damage? It's like it's not an option. So in that regard, it's been good. Also, because of like how things have changed.
So they've optimized so that however many you have on your team, you have a 2 of each now, which is good. It's good. It actually makes gameplay easier for your team.
Yes and no. Sometimes 3 damage is needed. Sometimes, right? But like, it's just one of those things. Or you just need to have a better pick in terms of like your opponents. But like the other thing that's been really good about Overwatch is because they brought in Sigma. They have to bring in a lot of changes to like rebalance everything. So like Brigitte, which was one of like the, OP healers who was almost like a tank herself, who had like a 500 shield and could self-heal like really quickly and heal everyone around her and stun you and everything. Like a DPS tank healer all in one was like, she was too OP. So they just nerfed her hard.
Yeah,
but
I know.
She's still useful. That's the thing. They brought in a new balance. Now this new tank is like the highest damage character in the thing. Like I'll play Sigma and get, high damage as him, like gold damage and everything. But I feel like eventually they'll balance that out as well, where he's playing more of a tank role rather than off. He's a bit of an off tank though, which is, I've been having talks with people about what he's useful for and also listening to like, other players about, what he's for. And he's good for just closing gaps. And like, because the reason why they brought him in was there was this setup like bunker, which was like Orisa and then another shield and then a bastion and then a Symmetra, and you can just not break it like as like a defense setup. It's just too much shield to break through, and then you got this high damage thing just pelting at your shield when you're trying to attack, and it was getting boring. Because everyone played it. It was necessary to play it almost. Yeah. And then they're like, okay, well, this is making the game shitty. And so they brought in Sigma, who closes the gap, changed the balance of all these characters, and like made some characters who are shield breaks more powerful. And it's made it really good. Okay. The only thing is sometimes I wish that in the middle of the game I could
balanced.
It's rebalanced things. But a few other people also said, and I kind of have this opinion, is like sometimes you wish that not necessarily like not have role queue, but like you go in and you're a healer, and if you're not doing well as a healer in that match, you could switch off to a damage if someone else goes to a healer. Like you could still be stuck with 2-2-2, but it'd be better if you're not feeling a healer for this match. You thought you were, but you're not, so you want to switch off. Then you can do it. That would be ideal, I reckon. Yeah. But yeah, in regards to FPS games, it is the one that I grind out the most. Okay. So I think like you said, I have a very, like you at the beginning of Overwatch when you first started, you have a love-hate relationship. I have a love-hate relationship in the sense that I love what the game can do. Yeah. I do. And I've got clips of, me getting quad kills and like actually doing work. Actually doing something, yeah.
I'm getting too tired for this shit. Like actually doing work though, but it's just like the abusive side. Like,
yeah.
It's okay if you get the one-off one.
Yeah, but when it's
but when you're just having someone that goes, you're shit in your messages.
Yeah.
And no matter how many times you just block them, they for some reason start reporting you for sending messages.
Yeah.
Like that becomes toxic. That's not nice.
On a more positive note, let's just say, I am really anticipating the release of Modern Warfare. Which is coming out, I think, in November.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be doing a review of that one. I don't know if you will, but I definitely will be.
Well, we could probably play it together.
Yeah, we should play it together, but I'd want to play it on PC, I think.
Yeah.
We can do that. I want those crispy graphics,
So crispy.
Like, honestly, like, here's the other thing. Like, playing, like, Black Ops 4, which I only play on PC because I'm not buying it
I only just
twice.
started playing Black Ops 4 again on Xbox.
It was one of those games it jumped on the whole bandwagon of, like, battle royales. I did not play the battle. I tried it. It crashed, like, 15 times.
Oh, my God. Like, and it's dead on PC. It's totally dead.
But the multiplayer is still nice.
Oh, the multiplayer works very well.
Yeah, and
I think that's what the problem is with these battle royales is everyone jumped on the bandwagon and it wasn't necessarily what people asked for. See, that was another rumor with Borderlands 3
that it was going
to be a battle royale.
Yeah,
and if that was going to be the case, I was not going to be on board with that. But the thing is, this is where gaming developers need to really listen to their community because they're targeting people that enjoy those games.
Yeah.
But they're also targeting people that loved the games for what they were.
Yeah. So
do you know what I mean?
They're worrying too much about like the new market of like battle royales rather than keeping that your dedicated market of like
battle royales have their place if they're a separate game and it's just a battle royale.
I guess, or if you integrate it into the game, like you have that as an option. You know, how, like Black Ops 4 has it, like the battle royale.
But it didn't work. Like I don't think it worked. Well. You know, it did not do well at all.
Apex killed it too.
Yes, so. that and also the fact that everyone was getting on the Fortnite bandwagon still.
Yeah. Like
Fortnite was still blowing it out of the water. Fortnite came along and literally like stomped
the game,
stomped PUBG in the ground.
Yeah.
It literally died after a year.
It's because it kept things fresh until Apex came along, and then they were like, "Hey, what's Apex doing? We'll do the same thing."
Yeah.
Like, oh, what, you can like respawn your people in Apex?
Oh, so let's put a respawn van in ours. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and there's that too, where it's like, no idea is fresh anymore.
Yeah.
So when I heard that Borderlands 3 was possibly going to be that,
you just.
I literally was on all the forums going, you cannot do this.
Can't do it. Yeah.
Can't do this. Now that. And you had people like Jolts and Killer 6, I'm pretty sure, going like, this is a no-go.
Yeah.
And 2K and Take-Two, who own 2K and Gearbox, they basically came out and were like, no, we're listening to you guys. We're not going to do that. And see, that's what keeps things fresh, is because people who love the games for what they were are still getting the games that they are wanting and wanting to play.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need to do, I think.
And it can't be like friggin' like...
I think it's one of those things like especially with a game that's got that much of like a history behind it, you kind of stick with like the main fan base and change it up a little bit, but don't go radically change it into something like a battle royale. Yeah,
like... Battle royales have their place, but not everything needs to be a battle royale.
Yeah. Anyways, I think we should probably wrap this one up a
little
bit.
Before we do, I actually want to challenge you to something, because I noticed the other day when you were playing Overwatch, you have 238 loot boxes sitting there.
I might have just a few, yes.
Just a few?
Just a few.
I think for a video we need to open at least 50 of those. Guaranteed 50. What do you say?
I can guarantee 50.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I have a bunch of different types of loot boxes as well. So depending on the response to this, how about this? Depending on the response to this video, I'll see what the most like the top comments are as well in terms of which ones they want me to open. I'll list in the description which types of loot boxes I have, and then
okay. I was just going to say, you just should open a couple of everything. But yeah, that's a great idea. I like that.
I have ones from Halloween last year.
this is another thing. How can you leave loot boxes just pooling up like that?
Because I'm not a collector like you.
You are a collector because you got 238 loot boxes.
Yeah, but see, it's Schrodinger's cat. I have all the legendaries, but none of them at the same time.
Because I just don't want to open them.
Yeah, as far as I know, I have everything in the game that needs to be in the game.
Yeah, you just don't. You choose not to open them.
But I know what?
When I get a loot box, I'm like, I have to open it.
Yeah, it's like crack for you. So
it's like the same with Apex Legends. I get a loot tick, and I'm like,
I just like. Yeah, here's one of the things, because I play the game like back to back, like comp games and stuff. I just forget that there's loot boxes, and then I go, nah, I can hold off on opening them up.
I can't.
And then it's like, oh wow, I have 100. I wonder if I can get to 200.
And now you're at 200. I wonder if I can get to 500.
Oh, dude,
we're gonna put a dent in that. 50, guaranteed
I'll
50.
I guarantee opening 50.
Okay, if we get 100 likes on our YouTube video,
I'll open
100.
100. Yeah. If we get 100 likes, I'll open 100.
Okay, guaranteed 50. But if we get 100 likes on our YouTube video of this podcast episode, he will open 100, and you guys can specify what ones he opens.
I'll put it on YouTube for you.
Yeah, we'll film it and record it and put it as a special release.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, that was an interesting episode of arguing.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna get yelly and yelly more as we go on.
Yelly and yelly, yeah. We do tend to disagree.
I can't speak today. I'm really tired. I'm gonna have to go home after this.
Yeah, you probably should. I don't want to see your face anymore.
Fuck. You're really being so brutal to me.
I am. I'm not gonna apologize.
Anyway, I'm gonna close the video because Zuff can't do it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed that video, hit the like button. If you loved it, subscribe and hit the notification bell. You can also find us on Spotify and iTunes. Our socials are linked in the description below. Hit us up in the comments to tell us what you'd like to hear about. I'm Zuff from Gamified, and remember, game on, peace.